Most people know that working with high voltage power lines and electric equipment is dangerous work. Utility workers are highly trained about safety in multiple situations. These workers often do their job close to rapidly moving traffic, and the dramatic increase in distracted driving incidents has added a new level of concern.
People are coming through cell phones, actually texting, as they come through the work zone while they're speeding, reading books, papers, applying makeup. I mean, you see it all. It's kind of unbelievable what you'll see, if you just stand out here for a few minutes.
Don Simmons Utility is like thousands of others, putting greater emphasis on work zone setup to make sure drivers can clearly see and understand what's happening. But drivers have to do their part to keep everyone safe.
Driving is full of distractions to begin with. You have to be aware of your surroundings. You have to watch other traffic. You have to look at road signs, know where you're going. Using your cell phone while driving, you are 23 times more likely to be in an accident than if you're not on your phone.
Trooper Sean Ramsey says it only takes a moment of distraction to cause an accident, and that's been a factor in multiple work zone incidents. This Minnesota utility crew is among several that have had a close call.
We had 3 big trucks here. Everything had flashing lights, everyone had high vis on. To me, that should have stood out to the individual who was driving. And I mean, he was obviously distracted thinking about his next load, or so who knows what he was doing.
Ross Byreth was one of 3 linemen high up in buckets on a remote highway when a large dump truck came barreling through their work zone. It failed to slow down as Ross was pulling a line across the highway from one pole to another.
What I remember is when I seen the truck, I looked over at the wire and I knew it wasn't high enough. And all I could think was, I can't get it higher that fast. I figured, let it go, and it went down, and it went down, but just not far enough, because it was at an angle off that pole, and it just snagged the truck, and yeah, I just couldn't get down fast enough. And he was moving, he couldn't slow it down. It was a big gravel truck, and yeah, I mean, it happened so fast. These 2 guys and these poles, this pole and this pole, they ducked. Everyone ducked for cover.
On the ground, the flagger got caught in the snagged line and was knocked down.
I was very scared what may have happened to Tyler, because 35 feet in the air you can't see, and I didn't see the wire actually hit him because I was in the bottom of my bucket, so I would have gotten maybe my head ripped off or something like that. We don't know what's going to happen, so I was very scared. He was bruised up a little bit. He walked with a limp for a few days, but we were lucky.
These workers were lucky. Others have not fared as well. At least 4 utility workers have been killed and many more injured in multiple serious incidents. Construction workers and other roadside workers have also been killed or injured. Utilities and others whose work requires sharing the road are responding in a number of ways, working to secure tougher new laws and higher fines in work zones. Others are taking direct measures. Some utilities now use cameras mounted on cones to gather information about car speeds, driver behavior, and work zone conditions. There are more outdoor cameras everywhere, so a driver not following the law is likely to be caught and may face serious consequences. Most states have these minimum requirements.
When somebody's on the side of the road, people are required to do 3 things. Change lanes if possible. If it is not possible to change lanes, you must slow down. And if that means stopping, because your lane is blocked, then it means stopping. And they have to proceed with due caution.
And when it comes to roadside utility work, a distracted driver could kill a worker without direct contact.
I know a lot of people don't realize, you're working in that bucket truck and you're up near those lines. It doesn't take very much movement. Not much movement at all before it puts you in harm's way, because you're talking about live conductors up there. So if a vehicle comes along and bumps into my bucket truck and it moves me this far, that far could be enough to hurt or kill me.
Safety trainer Jim Miles reminds drivers to think about workers as people who simply want to go home to their families at the end of the day, just like the drivers coming through their work zones. Drivers have several reasons to think about their own safety while traveling streets and roads, as tens of thousands of vehicles hit power poles each year. Every crash has the potential to bring down live power lines, adding a serious, potentially deadly element to the incident. Whenever lines are sagging or down, drivers must know the right steps to take to survive. Utilities and law enforcement urge everyone to zone in on safety. Defensive driving and taking the time to focus on the task at hand protects everyone.
And if you've never had to go tell a family that their loved one's dead, you probably don't understand how devastating it is. Treat driving like a job. You have one job to do. That's to get from point A to point B safely. That's it. All that other stuff can wait.
There isn't one single text or one single phone call or an email that is worth your life. And I promise you, it's not worth multiple lives, because there are other people out there that you may end up hurting without ever meaning to, just because you wanted to answer a text or a phone call. There are a lot of other people than utility crews that are out there working along the side of the road. There are pedestrians, there's bicyclists, there are other motorists that are out there, and if you're not paying attention, you could end up being the reason why that person doesn't make it home tonight and not be you. So keep that in mind.